I would say it's one of the top 5 rewarding things that I have done in my life is watching this adopted dog that I have turn into a completely different dog like each and every month, right? I've told you guys before that I adopted this dog a while back, English Bulldog, lived on a farm and came to me secondhand because, she was really kind of just around to be making litters, and then the people on the farm weren't making any money on her, so they're like, all right, peace out. And then she fell into my hands. But when she got to me, she was so scared of everything that I would put her outside. You guys remember that? She would run right into my bushes and she would stay there all day long.
Yep.
She would never come out, wouldn't even peek her head out. So that's where we started. She wouldn't come up and down the stairs. She was afraid to go in the house. She only wanted to be outside. I used to have to pick her up to come into the house. And now, especially over the course of the last couple of months, this dog will not leave my side. She wants to sleep in bed with me now. She wants to be on the couch with me. She follows me from room to room, and it has been totally and completely rewarding. But now she's become so dependent that she won't sleep by herself at night. So
be careful what you ask for.
Now we got scratches on the door. Now we got whining outside of the room. So while rewarding, it has come totally and completely full circle, man.
Yeah, I've been having this problem too with my new kitten that I just got. I got a kitten about 4 weeks ago in early January. And you want them to attach to you because when you pick up your kitten or your puppy for the first time, you're literally like abducting them from their mom and dad.
Right.
So like when I picked up Betty, my new kitten, she's in the back seat like, rah, rah, rah. And all you can think about is the fact that she's like, I'm never going to see my family again. And I'm like, I'm your family now.
Right.
So we've gotten to a point where she has to sleep with me. She'll either sleep on my chest or she'll sleep curled up with me. But then it backfires because cats do this thing called making biscuits where they like knead on you. They like find something squishy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then they start like doing this thing where they go back and forth with their paws, and it'll be waking you up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's cute as hell, but it's an inconvenience.
I don't know a lot about pets, but could it possibly be as simple as they just got to warm up to you in a new environment?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I didn't even know she had this in her personality, to be honest with you. Based on what we saw the first couple of months, you guys have heard me like, maybe I'm just stuck with a dog that just really kind of sucks. But
you gave up on her pretty quick.
She's not going anywhere. She's family now, but maybe she just doesn't have a personality, right? And it has taken her now a year, and I don't know if this was inside of her. I do not know what that life on the farm looked like, so I don't know if they played with her a lot, but she's never played with anything. She's a great dog. She doesn't do anything wrong. She doesn't chew on anything. She's not high maintenance in any way, shape, or form until the last couple of weeks where the turning point, this is really, really interesting as far as dogs go and packs go. I think the turning point was like me allowing her on the couch. So when she's on the couch, I'm on the couch, Amanda's on the couch, and we're all just hanging out there, I think it brought her like some kind of sense of being part of the pack. And I think that was the turning point.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I too feel most at home on my couch. So if that was the turning point, it makes a lot of sense.
Well, there's no room on mine, so you're going to have to stay here. All right, Mo saw the strangest thing on the internet when it comes to weddings, how you are invited to some things but not other things when it comes to a wedding, which makes no sense.
No sense to me. Apparently, this is pretty common in like the Netherlands and UK, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of anything like this. So I saw this article on People by Aaron Clack, and the title caught my attention because it said, I ended up wandering around the city getting a sandwich and eating it in the freezing cold by myself before the party. And it makes you wonder, like, how could that possibly happen being invited to someone's wedding?
Yeah.
So what she explained was this particular wedding, the way that it was set up. So they had I guess there was a dinner in the middle, but there was a gathering at the church from 3 to 4 p.m. And then in the middle, there was a dinner. And then at 9 p.m., there was a reception. But what this person didn't realize until midway through waiting around to try to figure out what was going on was apparently there were 3 sections of people that got different invitations to this wedding. So there were people who were invited to just the reception part, which started at 9. Mm-hmm. There were people who were invited to just the dinner and reception part. And there were also a few people who were invited to all 3. But for some odd reason, she was a part of a group of people that were invited to the gathering at the church to see the actual ceremony. And then she had to find something to do in between that time because she was not invited to the dinner, but she was invited to the reception.
That seems so incredibly rude to me.
So rude. It's like you have the A team, the B team, and the C team.
Yeah.
And everybody I know that's planned a wedding, like you have that list, like you send out the A invites first, but that means the A team gets invited to everything. And then if part of the A team can't come, that's when you start going down the B team list.
Now, I do like the option of them asking you, like, you can go to 2 of the 3 of these. Which would you like to go? Because I would just bail on the ceremony.
That's how I felt. Like, I wouldn't have been mad at it if this were explained to me and I had the option. But to be told, okay, from 3 to 4, we want you to come to the actual ceremony and then we'll pick back up at 9.
What?
She didn't even realize that there was a dinner until she got to the reception and everybody had just wrapped up dinner. And she said they were warm to me. Like, they weren't looking at her as if she wasn't supposed to be there. But at the same time, she couldn't help but wonder, like, well, why wasn't I invited to the dinner?
Absolutely not going back.
I do think it's weird as hell. I do kind of like the concept because then I can go get my food because wedding food is always whack.
The comments said that for a lot of people who do this in like UK and the Netherlands, it's just to save $1 or $2. You save some money by not, I guess, having dinner for everyone. That's for your most important people. And then for everyone else, you bring them back for just the reception.
Yeah, well, that's not here.
I would not have made anything after that ceremony. That would have been the end of my day.
Hell no. In studio, Mo is already preparing us for a train wreck. Kristen and one of our listeners gave him an assignment to wrap a children's book that he's going to try here in a couple of minutes. But as he's reading over the children's book right now, he's like, it don't even rhyme.
I thought the words would at least rhyme.
No, man.
Oh, my God.
So she gave you this assignment and she's like, you know what? This is going to be so bad. I'm not even going to come in today.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, right?
It was very convenient.
No accountability. Yeah, she's got a cold, so she's out today. Before we get into that, I just noticed this, that I wonder if the ratings on the Super Bowl are going to suck kind of this year. And I got one indication on why. First, you've got like Kansas City playing for the 3rd year in a row, and people don't like that, right? They like new stuff. And there's just not a lot of meat on the bones, I think, for a lot of non-sports fans to attach themselves to the game. But normally what you see leading up to the game is ticket prices starting to rise as people start to panic that they can't get in to the Super Bowl. Demand becomes really, really large. So you see the prices going up, right? Not this year. I was just reading that the tickets have actually dropped. Cheapest ticket now is below $4,000. Man, that's crazy.
I thought it was like over $10,000 just to get into the game last year. No?
It could be.
It could have been towards the end, yeah.
You talk about a game, like an elitist game now. I mean, most people can't afford that, right? Well, maybe this year you can. Tickets are now below $4,000 on the secondary market, but that's crazy amount of money. It's a 38% decline over the past week and more than 50% cheaper compared to last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, at this point, it kind of looks like a bargain compared to last year.
Even at $4,000.
I know.
It's nuts.
I don't remember a year where the Super Bowl declined right before the game.
Yeah.
That's very odd.
I'm wondering if the ratings are going to be pretty poor on it also. All right, so Kristen gets this DM from a Bert Show listener, Sarah, with a challenge. Because there's a dude on Instagram that loves to do this. That his name is Jordan Simmons, and he wraps children's books.
Yo, this is Llama Llama Red Pajama, written by Anna Dudney, and I'm gonna rap this book. Yeah. Llama Llama Red Pajama reads a story with his mama. Mama kisses baby's hair. Mama Llama goes downstairs. Llama Llama Red Pajama feels alone without his mama. Baby Llama wants a drink. Mama's at the kitchen sink. Yeah. Llama Llama Red Pajama calls down to his mama.
Maybe we should not have played that first.
I'm just saying.
That was a horrible idea.
We should have played that after yours.
Oh my God.
All right, now the difference here, just to set this whole thing up with Jordan Simmons, is he gets to read the book, he knows the book, he can pick the right book, he can pick a beat he knows it's going to sound good to, right? You don't have any of that.
I have not. No, this is my first time seeing the book. Kristen brought it to me yesterday. It apparently is Jimmy's favorite book, called The Wonky Donkey. I opened it and immediately realized that most of these words do not rhyme. The beat I've heard for all of 2 seconds.
Okay, she has screwed you.
Oh, this is bad.
Totally and completely, and then was just like, I don't even want to see it. It's going to be such a train wreck. I'm not coming in today.
I don't even want to be there.
All right, take it when you want, dude.
All right, Katie, now is as good as ever.
And this is Wonky Donkey?
This is The Wonky Donkey, #1 bestseller. Words by Craig Smith, illustrations by Katz Cowley. I was walking down the road and saw a donkey. Hee-ha, hee-ha. He had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was a honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the street and saw a donkey. Hee-ha, He had 3 legs, 1 eye, listened to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the street and saw a donkey. You guessed it. Hee-haw. He had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. Walking down the street and saw a donkey. Hee-haw, he had 3 legs, 1 eye. Listened to country music, he was quite tall and slim. He smelled really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and he hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Walking down the street and saw a donkey. Hee-haw. He had 3 legs, 1 eye, listened to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really bad. That morning he got early. He hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting himself into mischief. He was a hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the street and saw a donkey. He had 3 legs, 1 eye, listened to country music. He was quite tall and slim, but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky, panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. It is.
Wow, okay. You talk about making chicken salad out of something else.
I don't know if that's what I made. I don't know what's in that salad.
I mean, I know it was no llama red pajama, but you did your best.
You know what? I think I'm going to leave this one for Jordan. That man got it on lock.
And donkeys don't like to be called honkies either, I can tell you that right. Okay. Well done, man.
Thanks, man.
That was not easy. All right, let's get some of you guys that listen live to the Bert Show this early in the morning. Let's get $100 in your hands. 1-855-BERT Show. We're going to play Lose Bert's Money. I give you a very superficial trivia question. I'll get 3 of you guys on the line. Every time you get this question wrong, I take $10 away from the overall winnings, okay? 1-855-BERT Show. You can start lining up. I got a really tough question today, too. I don't think you guys are going to get this one, man. 1-855-BERT Show. Once we get you lined up, we will play here in just 1 second.
All right. I know it sounds like I'm descending into cat lady madness, but I swear there's a purpose behind the baby shower that I'm throwing for my kitten this weekend. Mainly, I just want to throw a party and drink with my friends. However, I did read that within the first couple of months of your kitten's life, it is important to introduce them to at least 100 people so that they don't grow up to be scared of humans.
Okay.
Because I have one cat already. She's about 6 years old. She's terrified of humans. So I'm determined not to go down that path.
Do you know what her origin story was and why she is? Or have you had her since she was a kitten?
I've had her since she was a baby, so it's my fault.
All right.
I've just traumatized her. So I'm throwing my whisker warming shower, or a sip and see, where people can come sip on some wine and see my kitten at my apartment.
Okay, it's a win-win all the way around.
It's a win-win all the way around.
Kristen's out of dry January. We're into February now. She's not here today because she's not feeling good. But it's a win-win all the way around. The girls get together. You guys get to sip wine. Your cat gets socialized. It's a win all the way around.
It's a win-win. So I'm glad that you're having my back here, because I know that Kristen's not here. I was like, oh, I'm surrounded by too many men who aren't going to get it.
I'm all for it.
So here's everything that's going down at my cat shower this weekend. So of course, the first thing you got to get right is the cocktails. You've got to have a cat-themed cocktails. You guys are going to be missing out because I know you guys won't be there. You guys will be missing out.
I don't know what day it is, but I absolutely have plans that day.
I'm busy.
In fact, I'm in the process of making plans for the day that I don't know when the party is.
Well, you'll be missing out on the Meow-Teenies, the Prosecco Punch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, man.
The catnip cooler. Of
course.
And the whisker sour.
Oh, the people's favorite.
The people's favorite. How well will you move on without a whisker sour?
Of course.
Everyone will also be getting a cat name when they walk in the door. They'll be taking their Zyrtec if they're allergic. They'll be walking in, and they will receive a cat name based off of the first initial of their first name and the month that they were born. I got this off Amazon, so it's very cat official. And surprise, you guys have cat names.
The depth that women love a theme party and the details that go into them fascinate me. Dudes would be like, "Hey, meet me at Fridays at 6."
That's it. That's as far as we go.
That's it.
We'll figure the rest out.
It'll be mozzarella sticks and IPAs.
And we don't commit till 6 until 5.
Yeah, that's facts.
So if you were to attend the cat sip and see this weekend, you would receive the name Bert. You would be Pearl Twinkleclaw.
Okay.
And Mo, you would be Feisty Moonlight Fur.
What?
According to the Amazon cat naming
Feisty
generator.
Okay, feisty moonlight fur.
Yeah, it's not me. It's the cat
All right. The
generator.
landing could have been better, but I'm not mad at it.
Now, the last thing that I have, since you guys won't be here to play the games that I have, like pin the tail on the kitten and, guess what that cat's saying, I figured we could play it right here, right now.
Oh, do you? Okay.
For a nice fun game of what the hell is that cat saying? So since you guys aren't cat people, I know you have a dog, you have Franny, you don't have pets.
Nope.
But
I've had cats before, and they are great as kittens.
Yeah.
And then they get older.
I know. Well, cats make a variety of noises, but there are 5 specific noises that mean certain things for different cats. Now, obviously, they don't have like a language. Like if they say something, it's not like they're trying to speak to you in English, but there are specific sounds that are supposed to communicate certain things. So we'll start off easy with the simple meow. Now, if a cat's going to meow to you, what are they trying to say?
That one right there is either I am hungry or I want some attention.
That's exactly correct.
Oh, okay.
Or,
There it is.
or they could be flipping you off. We don't know. They're cats.
I was going to say get off my tail.
Okay, the second one.
I've said that my entire life, that if a cat could, as soon as your back would turn, it would be flipping you off the entire day long. But then as soon as you turn to it, it'd be like, hey, rub my head.
I'm hungry.
Okay, the next one is trilling.
Ooh, that means the cat is cold.
No, that means it's like warming up to you. It's rubbing its head up against you and all that.
Oh.
It could be a greeting or they could be flipping you off. We don't know.
The whole thing, every single one of these things from a cat is could be flipping you off.
Okay, the last one I have here is one that's a little spicier for the morning. So
Hey,
let's choose our words carefully here. But what does it mean when a cat is in heat?
Well, it's still going.
That means come and get it.
Yeah.
Come and get it, big boy.
I'm
and get
passing.
it.
Yeah.
I'm giving Bert that one. Yeah.
You guys did very well. If you wanted to come to the cat sip and see, you'd be welcome.
I didn't know cats were so romantic.
Good luck with your party this weekend. You should hold it during the Super Bowl when nobody will show up. All right, let's play a round of Lose Bert's Money. All right, Abby, will you do me a favor, or Cassie do me a favor? Because I can't do 2 things at the same time. Keep subtracting when we get incorrect guesses.
Sure.
All right, so here's how it goes. I'm going to get 3 people on the line right now, a very superficial trivia question. Every time one of you gets an answer wrong, I then take $10 off of the top. All right, so we'll start at 100, go 90, and this one is not easy today. This one's going to be brutal. Good morning, Dalton.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great.
Good. Dalton, you ready for $100?
Yes.
All right, well, you're not going to win it. What city are you calling us from?
I am in Charleston, South Carolina.
All right, appreciate you listening on SX. Thank you. And here is Teresa. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Hiram, Georgia.
All right, appreciate you. And there's Shelby as well. Hey, Shelby.
Hi.
Hey, the city you are representing.
Tequila, Georgia.
Okay, go Tequila. Here is your trivia question for the morning, ladies. 27% of women say a guy is less attractive if he starts an email or a text with this word. 27% of women say guy is less attractive if he starts an email or a text with this word. Dalton, what do you got?
Deer.
Dear.
Dear.
Dear Abby.
That's
Dear
not a bad
Mo.
guess.
Not a bad guess, but not the correct one. All right. So we go ahead. We take $10 off now. Now we're at $90 for Teresa.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's higher than 27%.
If a dude opens it, hey, girl. Okay. That is not correct. So we take $10 off. We're now at 80, right, Cass? Mm-hmm. All right. I know how this works. Shelby.
Maybe something simple like hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Well, hello. No. $10 taken away. We're now at 7.
Men can't even say hello.
Hello. Dalton, go ahead. 27% of women say a guy is way less attractive if he starts an email or a text with this word.
What about hey with a bunch of Y's?
Yeah, that would be a turnoff. That is a very good guess. Not the one we're looking for yet, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What do we got, Cass?
$60.
All right. And that's Teresa. What do we got?
Babe?
Babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe. Even if he doesn't know you very well, that is going to be major turn off. And I'm guessing that would be more than 27%.
For sure.
That is not the correct answer. Okay, now we move on to Shelby. Shelby, what is it?
Since it's just one word, it makes it a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
Haya.
Hiya.
Hiya. That's definitely higher than
That's
27.
got to be 90%.
Hiya. Nope, that's not it. But you are getting warmer. You're getting warmer. What do we have?
We're down to $40.
$40. Dalton.
What about yo?
Yo. What up? Not the one we're looking for here. Okay. Teresa, 27% of women say a guy is less attractive if he starts an email or text with this word.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, what's
What's up?
Not correct. What are we at, Cass?
$20.
$20. Shelby.
Going fast.
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming it starts with an H since you said it was close. I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of words.
And you said it starts with an H?
Maybe?
Maybe it does. Yeah. I'd go down that route if I were you.
Okay. Can I have a hint?
I just gave you a hint.
A major hint.
Do you want to phone a friend next?
Why don't I just tell you the word?
Hey.
I don't know. Skip me. Go back.
Okay.
Are we taking 10 off for a skip or are we leaving
Oh, yeah.
it?
No,
All
I would
right.
take 10 bucks.
This is the last
Guess
one.
an H word.
We're down to $10.
So this is Dalton for $10. You now know it starts with H.
Just a simple hi.
Hi. That is
Hey.
not correct either. It was howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy. I can't believe it's only 27%.
Yeah, I would have thought more.
I feel like Texas probably offsets that. They love to say howdy out there.
Howdy. Just representing the upper demo here. I don't know that there's anything more annoying than somebody my age listening to a bunch of 20-somethings going, oh, I'm getting so old. I'm 28. Oh, God. Jackson's turning 28 today.
Let me have this. I can feel it in my lower back.
This is a great age, 28. Like if they said to me, if you had to reset your life at a certain age, I would probably pick somewhere around 28.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Because you're on your way, you're smart enough to make decisions, but you're dumb enough to party real hard still too, and you can recover in a decent amount of time. Got your head on mostly straight. It's a great year.
That's fair. I've been kind of checking those boxes off for the last decade, so as long as I've got a few more good years of that in me, then I'm on the right track.
Doing good, man. You starting to feel the 28-year-old aches yet?
I really am.
Really?
I didn't think it would happen this quick, but all of a sudden you start, making those dad noises when you're getting up out of bed and off the couch, and it's all downhill from there.
Oh, bro, you have no idea.
Yeah, it was downhill from 30.
I don't know if this is a 28 thing or if you're just getting out of shape.
Hey, we're switching that around.
Both can be true, as Kristen would say. All right, so today we are doing something a little different today as the entire youth group is in studio. You want to explain who the youth group is, Abby, and what we're doing today?
Yes, the youth group is everyone who's kind of mentally 30. We have Amber, who's our phone screener. We have Mikey, who does something in the back room. Jackson, who does all of our video editing. Rebecca, who is our amazing social media producer. And me, who speaks words sometimes. So we have all come here to honor our friend Jackson Kim, who, even though we don't always sound like we love him, we have a lot of affection for our coworker and our friend who is turning the ripe old age of 28.
I think it's the same rules apply in any office and in any friend group also. If you are not giving somebody a hard time, that's the sign you don't like them. They love you.
It does seem like I get called out more often than the average person in the youth group.
Clearly they love
You're the
you.
favorite.
And you love them as well.
Yeah, roasting is our love language. So we would like to welcome you to the roast of Jackson Kim.
Oh boy.
The last DE&I hire Bert would ever have to make.
Oh, that's right. It's over. It's over.
Today, the Bert Show youth group, Amber, Mikey, and Rebecca will be firing up the Korean barbecue and roasting the hell out of our dear friend Jackson. Kicking off today's roast is everyone's favorite green-haired liberal, Rebecca!
Woo!
Bring it on.
So, if you guys didn't know, Jackson is Korean, and as a Korean American, he was actually given a Korean name. It's Jin-woo, and in English, it means mother's disappointment.
Okay.
If we had her on a couple of days ago, that was clear. Telling.
If you don't know why they named him that, Jackson actually worked in corporate finance before joining the Bert Show, where he now works twice as hard for half as much money, making him the one Asian man in America who's bad at math. Why'd you do it, Jackson? Why'd you do
That was a
it?
miscalculation.
Well, Jackson did it because, like his girlfriend, he was desperate and out of options.
Everybody in the family getting roasted.
Dang.
Anyway, let's kick it off to Amber.
I spend a lot of time with Jackson in that little office, and I've learned a couple of things about him. I've learned that he's amazing with a Rubik's Cube, but faster than anyone on the show for sure. The only thing he does faster than that is play the piano.
Okay.
That's our code word for something more adult.
But Jackson is an amazing person. He's smart, creative, smart, and he won't let you forget it. I honestly think that the only thing Jackson can't do is grow decent facial hair.
Was waiting for that one.
All right, now we're going to move on to Mikey, who's taking a break from Hooked on Phonics to be here today.
Sounds like it's a roast.
It's not even his birthday.
I know, right? Preemptive.
Okay, we got a good crowd. Okay. Jackson, he gets a lot of hate for being an arrogant, insecure, self-centered, pretentious narcissist. I would agree, but I don't know what arrogant means. Jackson, I wrote a poem for you. Can I read it?
Please.
Hickory dickory dock. Jackson has bombed his last 5 segments and might get fired if his performance doesn't improve.
I actually gave him that one.
There was outside influence.
I'm glad you're speaking real slowly, Mikey, because Jackson's only been speaking English for like 2 years. So. Now, I know everyone's been making fun of Jackson for getting a tech degree and working here, but that's not even his biggest accomplishment. Jackson was actually set to be the 8th member of hit K-pop band BTS, but he couldn't fit in the skinny jeans.
Very good.
And to celebrate Jackson's birthday, we all decided to learn how to say happy birthday in Korean. So take it away, Mikey.
Kwangkyungyu. I forgot it. Sorry. I did practice this morning. I completely forgot.
No one would have known. I wouldn't have even known.
Mother's disappointment.
And that's our roast.
Wow.
Happy birthday, my man.
Thank you.
bro.
You know what they say? Who needs enemies when you have friends like y'all?
For sure. Happy birthday. So she chose money over her relationship. Now she's regretting it.
I feel really bad for my dude in the situation that he's now in. And I partially blame myself too, because I was the person who actually set these two up in thinking that they were like perfect for each other. And now I understand what Kristen always goes through with trying to set people up, because I failed miserably.
Okay. Did they at least have some kind of relationship before it failed?
So that's the thing. In my defense, I didn't really know her. I just knew that he was very attracted to her and he was afraid to make the move. So I inspired the actual meeting to happen.
All right.
That's all I did.
I think that's very different than Kristen sucking at this.
That's true, because she actually knows the people.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I will take credit for the fact that I did that part, and it was going really, really well at first. It was like a really heavy, hot 4 months of a relationship, and it got a little tricky around the time where he did some work for her, which I had mentioned. Bert, I think you were out that day, but he DJs, so she wanted him to DJ one of her events. And I remember him coming to me and saying, listen, we've been dating for 4 months. She wants me to DJ her event. I don't feel like I should charge her. What do you think? And I was like, I don't think you should charge her either. I am not from the world where you charge your significant other to do something for them. It's just always been a one hand washes the other for me kind of thing. So So he doesn't charge her. He doesn't think anything of it. He moves on. And then it gets to the point where the drama starts to happen because then in turn, now it's important to note, he did not ask her for this service. He just made it known that he needed this service, which happens to be what she does for a living, because he needed a deck, which is something that you use in order to sell like a show or something that you're producing.
You present it to somebody going, look, this is what we're all about. It's a presentation.
Exactly. Right. An internal resume, if you will, like an online resume. And so she's like, well, I do that. And he's like, well, I know that, but I didn't want to ask, but if you want to do it, I'll take it. She says, cool. She spends a lot of time on it. And apparently she would have normally charged about $3,500 for this service.
But they're going out.
Right?
Yeah.
So he comes to me and he's like, do you think I should give her anything? And I said, you should do something really nice for her. But to me, if you're in a relationship, that's fair. That's a fair trade-off. Well, she didn't see it that way.
And did you say that he did something for her before?
He did.
Okay.
He DJ'd like a party for her.
So it's kind of and did he charge her for that?
No, he didn't.
All right. So it's kind of established. Like, we're going out with each other. It's been 4 or 5 months. I'm doing this for you because I care for you. And you're going to do this for me because you care for me. And that's all good.
That's what we thought.
Yep.
Then he was driving down the road and he reached out to her to ask if she had her stuff together for a trip that they were initially going to take, which he was going to pay for. That was kind of his way of saying thank you. He was going to get her a ticket and pay for her stay to go on this mini vacation. But she said, okay, that's great. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. At the same time, you should probably check your email first.
Okay. Oh, man.
And then when he went to check the email, that's when he saw that she sent him a $1,900 invoice for her services.
Well, she gave him a nice discount. She said normally it would be $3,500.
She even said that she knocked 8% off if he didn't pay with credit card and he paid with cash. So that was also really nice of her.
8%?
Yeah, she knocked a whole 8%
Not
off.
even 10%.
No.
So was she sending this to him just to show him how much of a break he was getting, or this was the actual invoice?
No.
Like, you need to pay me.
This was an actual invoice.
Oh, no.
And she was expecting to be paid within the week. I believe she gave a deadline. I mean, the whole nine. She treated him like a complete client. So at that point, he came to me for advice, and I told him, to me, if I'm in your shoes, you just distinguish the difference between me being your man and your client. If I was your man, I don't feel like that invoice would have found its way to my email.
I agree.
Well, it also could have been established right from the start. Like, if she was going to charge him, she would say something right from the start. Like, I can do this for you, but it's going to cost me a lot of my time, so I'm going to charge you blank for it. She didn't do any of that.
So her move was, we'll discuss finances later. That's how she got him. And I guess in his mind, it was like, yeah, what finances? But no, she meant that. And so she came back. Now she gets to set the market because I haven't discussed an actual price.
Okay.
So that was her market. So at that point, he needed a break. He took about a week off from just talking to her, period. And they did not reach out to each other, which was like that awkward phase of, are you going to reach out first? Am I going to reach out first? He felt like he was in the right. She felt like she was in the right. So at the point where they decided, okay, we have to talk. Like, we have to figure this out. My dude came to me and asked me what did I think he should do. And then when we spoke about it on the show, you guys agreed. I told him, I think you should send her an invoice. I think at this point, you did a service first. You didn't charge her because you thought y'all were in a relationship. Clearly, you're not.
Would it be for $1,901?
That's what he should have did. But I think he sent her an invoice for $1,500, right? And
But she can get 8% off.
if you pay with cash. And she just diverted. Like, she kept finding a way to talk about something else in the relationship that was wrong, but she never addressed the invoice. And her perspective was, if you did feel a way that I sent you the invoice, then you should have reached out and said that to me. Instead of just taking it and going on with it like nothing happened, why not reach out? And he felt like there was nothing to talk about. At that point, you established that I was your client. I'm not your man. To him, the relationship was over, and that was the end of it. It was like, once I send you this money, I'm your client now. That's the end of it.
I don't think it had to be. I just think if there was more honesty in the beginning, you could say like, hey, this is business and this is going to take a lot of time and it's going to take me away from my other projects. If that's right from the start, then it's all good. But it didn't have to end like this.
So that's where I saw that he was torn, and I felt for him because it was in that moment I realized, man, he really liked her. Like, it was genuinely bothering him that he felt like the relationship was really going somewhere. And for him, he just couldn't get past it. He still can't get past it. He just feels like once you did that, he'll never look at her the same.
I don't blame him because to me, the infraction here is the shadiness that she had when she offered her services. Like, oh, no, we'll talk about it later. Like, no, like kindness is being communicative about what you want or what you need. And if she needed to get paid, then she should have been upfront about that.
I completely agree.
So relationship done over history now.
She is trying to find a way to fix it, but he's just not trying to hear it. He feels like he's done. He's ready to move on.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
All right, so I made the challenge to you guys, and the phones are still open. 1-855-BERT Show. I want to call this thing Man Up Day. I have heard this far too long, where we have women on with us that are so frustrated that their man won't stand up for themselves in different situations. Now, it could be with a boss, it could be with his mom, what have you. So I wanted to set today, what is it, the 4th?
The 4th.
Yep.
Man Up Day, where you go to your man and you're like, today is the day you're doing, I am putting my foot down. You go have some nerds and get this done, okay? 1-855-BERT Show. Carly, you want to participate for your man in Man Up Day. What do you got?
So I'm so fed up with my mother-in-law. She's been disrespecting me for like 5 years at this point, and I'm so done.
Yeah, this is the one that I thought for sure we would get here because this is the one we get more often than anything else. All right, so in which ways has she been sort of disrespecting you?
So every time that me and my husband are around her, she just finds a way to just tear me down, like especially when it comes to parenting our child. And the worst part of it is, my husband just sits there in silence.
What would you prefer him to do? How you want him to handle it?
I want him to just, stand up for me. Is that so much to ask? She's constantly criticizing everything I do. If I let our son cry for just even a second or whatever, I'm neglectful in her eyes. And if I pick him up too quickly, I'm spoiling him. And if I follow our pediatrician's advice, instead of following her advice, her outdated methods, I'm being disrespectful.
Why do you think he hasn't stood up for you? Is he a mama's boy? Is he just kind of a wussy? What's his problem?
As a general rule, as a general rule, is he a big wuss?
Wuss? I mean, you married him. You would know.
I mean, pretty much at this point, I'm starting to think so because I'm starting to feel like he favors his mother over me.
Is that a yes to the wuss or the mama's boy?
Maybe both.
Clarification.
Maybe both.
Yes to both. And now, is he seeing this? Have you I'm sure you brought this up to him before, but you know us guys. Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, you're overreacting. So he knows this is happening and he sees it?
Yeah, he's always in the room whenever this is going on, and he just kind of just watches.
But does he see it as badly as you do? He's like, oh, she shouldn't have said that.
I mean, there was a time where my mother-in-law literally took my son out of my arms, and she said, come on to grandma. Mommy doesn't know what she's doing. And my husband, he just watched it. It's happening in front of him. It's not like I'm telling him what's happening.
Yeah, and at some point, I really do think in these relationships, you start to lose respect for your significant other. First, you feel disrespected because he's not standing up for you. And then, everybody wants somebody with a backbone. Yeah. And if he's proving time and time again that he doesn't have one, it's a real turnoff.
Well, if you can't stand up to your mom, who can you stand up to? So if it's not happening at home, I'm just picturing you going to work and just being like, whatever, I want everything to be okay. Everybody can do what they want. Yeah. It's a big turnoff.
Sometimes I think maybe the man really doesn't get it or see it, but that example she just gave, that's pretty clear.
That's pretty blatant. Okay, so what's the game plan going into Man Up Night tonight? What are you going to say to him?
Well, I just want him to man up and put his mother in her place. I've held my tongue for so long. I've tried to be the bigger person, but I'm so done at this point.
All right, so you have to say to him, I don't know what the last infraction was, but you have to say to him hey, this has been sitting, because he's not even going to know the words to use, right? Call mom up and say, hey, this has been sitting with me for a while now. I got to talk to you about blank. And my wife, Carly, is really feeling disrespected by the way you are treating her around our kids. And mom, it's got to stop. Yeah, you've got to give him the words, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because at this point, it's might as well he might not even be in the room.
Okay.
Here's what you got to do. You got to get him to teleprompter.com. You need to put out the script, put it in front of him, put him on a nice slow timer. So all he has to do is read out the exact script. And then if you have to, you can buy him a pair of balls off of Amazon.
At the point where you do all of that, he is indeed not manning up.
Yeah. Can you have like cue cards like they do on Saturday Night Live?
I think a teleprompter will suffice.
Right, a teleprompter.
Hold his hand.
All right, Carly, good luck today. Let us know tomorrow if he actually did it and how it went with his mom, okay?
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, it's Man Up Day on The Bert Show. So you guys know we had this policy of not talking politics on The Bert Show. So while we're not going to be talking politics, we are going to be talking budget, all right? Everybody has heard the word tariffs over the course of the last couple of weeks. There have been a lot of people panicking about it. There's been a lot of misinformation about tariffs. And the reason why I wanted to get an expert on to talk about it is that if it does indeed happen, it is going to affect every American. But how much? You know, you get into your algorithm and, you know, the country is on fire on one algorithm, and the other, it's like, hey, this is really good for our country. I don't want to argue any of that. I just want to see what this really means for all of us. Now, we caught a little bit of a break here because the president said that he was going to institute 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and everybody's freaking out, including Canada and Mexico, because it was going to affect their economies also. And just yesterday, Canada and Mexico was like, okay, hey, Mr. Trump, can we just have 30 days to talk about this? And Trump said, yeah, that's cool. Let's take 30 days. So that's not going to happen. However, China, he's a little more hardcore on that. China now, he is going to be instituting a 10% tariff on Chinese goods. Who is going to pay that, and how is that going to affect you guys? So Vivian Yu from Emory, she is a professor of economics at Emory University. So much smarter than any one of us.
Yeah, I didn't do well in
Yeah,
that.
I dropped macroeconomics multiple times.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
It's not even going to be close. Right. Hi, Vivian. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so glad you joined us today. I guess what I'm looking for here is just the basics. Like, I don't think people know who pays the tariffs. I think a lot of people think the country that you put the tariff on, that's where the money is going. What is a tariff, and how will it affect us in what areas? I think that's what we got to stick to.
Sure. Yes. So, as we already heard, the tariff is targeted on imports from, we talk about Mexico, Canada, and China, although the tariff on Mexico and Canada will be paused by 1 month. But even though it sounds like it's targeted on foreign companies, foreign goods, actually it is the American business who are importing these goods are paying for tariffs. And then eventually this cost will be passed on to American consumers.
Okay, so it's not like we go to China and we go, yo, China, we are slapping you with a 10% tax. This is paid by the folks that are importing all of that. And then they would deliver it to like a Walmart, right? And then Walmart has to make the decision. Look, if this is going to go up 10%, then we got to go ahead and we have to institute this 10% raise on all of our consumers, correct?
Yes, exactly. So the business will have three choices. One, business say, yes, if Walmart say all the goods I import from China are additional 10% more expensive, I will eat that cost and keep the price I put on my shelf unchanged, but that will hurt the profit margin for the business.
Okay.
The second choice is exactly what you said, right? And then I have to raise the price on my final goods, and the American consumers will then have to pay for that.
Okay, so the end game, Vivian, for a tariff, like when the president says that I'm instituting these tariffs, what is it supposed to accomplish?
So as we already saw yesterday, it will add pressure onto other countries. So that is one. The other one is, I think, as we know from the President Trump's agenda, right, to bring manufactured jobs back to the U.S. So maybe we don't import all these auto parts from Mexico and Canada and all these goods from China, and then we want to produce in America. Although that it will be a goal that potentially can be achieved, but that is a very complicated thing to achieve because a lot of other American business will rely on these imported goods, and it takes time to find alternatives.
I see. So at the end of the day, if I'm listening and this tariff sticks with China, again, Mexico and Canada, this pause for 30 days. If it's just China, what are the goods I'm probably going to have to pay more money for?
Well, we talk about all these goods we see in Walmart. So these, and also I want to clarify, this is additional 10% tariff on whatever China we are already collecting from China.
So what are the actual items that we would be hit on? Like if I go today, what am I going to see, or tomorrow when these tariffs start? What are the items that are going to be like a little bit more expensive for me as an American?
So a lot of we know iPhones, right? iPhones, a lot of auto parts, and also some of the assemblies are made in China, and toys, shoes, some clothes items. All these will be imported from China. That will become more expensive. And another thing is, the company may find alternatives, and Chinese companies may also start to set up the business in other countries to reduce the final cost onto on their exports to the U.S. But again, that will take time.
Okay. We only have about 60 seconds left. So just historically, when we're looking at tariffs, Vivian, have they worked in our country before? Have they tried it before and it was really successful, or it wasn't successful?
I'm not a historian, but I remember in the late 19th centuries, there were some tariffs collected. And also before Great Depression, there all the protectionism around the globe. So, and we know the outcome. I say that the successful tariff will be imposed strategically on some key industry. That would be successful. But on top of my mind right now, I don't have specific example.
Okay. I sure appreciate your input on this thing. I think we're all so confused about it. But we did catch a break, like we said in the very beginning here, where Canada and Mexico and the president sat down and said, okay, you guys, 30 days, we'll figure this whole thing out. But with China, again, it's going to be a 10%er. All right, Vivian, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
Take care now. This is outrageous, man. First of all, in a second, we're going to talk to Brittany, who thinks her man is cheating on her with carbs. All right, no carbs in the house. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So I'm really excited about this game. The Braves are going to be playing the Reds in Bristol, Tennessee, at their speedway. So they're converting the speedway into a baseball field in August.
Oh, really?
And I think it's so cool.
Is there going to be like race cars around it while they're playing? They got to like run the bases with the cars around?
They're not adding that element, but they're converting the infield, the raceway infield, into a baseball field, and they're going to play there, right?
Okay.
I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dope.
And I love experiences like that, something new, right? So it's not until August. So I thought, you know what? I'll jump on these tickets right here, right now, before anybody's even thinking about it.
Super early.
So I go over to StubHub and I check out the prices, and I'm looking at these out in the outfield, and then I'm like, all right, let's see where the Richie Riches are going to sit. And then I click on a ticket price for $339 if you want to be like right behind the plate, which, I mean, those are great seats and it's an expensive seat, but that's not what's outrageous to me. I go to click on it for the $339, and the ticket price ends up being $550, including all fees.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The hell?
I can't tell you how many times I was going to go to a game, and then I realized that the fees are just as much as the ticket, and I was like, yeah, never mind, I'm cool.
I clicked on it 4 times because I thought, oh, there must be some kind of IT problem going on here. But no, that's what it costs for fees. Now, I understand you got to pay your people and all, but that much? On a $339, you're going to pay $505?
It pretty much doubles the price. And what annoys me is you know what the fees are, so why are they not just pre-calculated into the seat? So when I see $350, I know, okay, I'm going to pay $350 with fees.
It would hurt you less if it doesn't say fees and they just give you the overall charge. It's the amount, the upcharge on the fees that's driving you crazy.
Because maybe my budget is $350. I'm like, oh, perfect. I can be right behind the plate. And then you click on it, and then that dream that you just had for 30 seconds dies.
Yeah, I'm with you. I probably would have still gone to those games if they would have done it that way.
It's true. Like, it doesn't feel as outrageous if it's built into the cost.
That makes sense.
Here's Raven. Good morning, Raven. You are part of the Bert Show. Hi.
Hi, I'm from Bristol, Tennessee. I grew up there.
Yeah.
If there's a cost thing that is a barrier for you going to experience something like that, every Christmas they do a drive-through thing at the track. Sorry, I'm a little disheveled.
No, you're good.
They do a drive-through thing at the track where you can go on, and parked in the middle is a little Sooners Village with a carousel and all kinds of cool stuff.
And what is that, like $10, but with fees it's $250?
No, I think it's like $20.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's I did the research on it today. It's like 4.5, 5 hour ride from Atlanta, so it's worth going to. That's for sure.
For that price, let me know when the players are playing from in the race cars.
Seriously, man. All right, Brittany wants our help here. Yes, it's a matter of cheating, but it's not with another person. Good morning, Brittany. You are part of the Bert Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so you wanted our help. Today is usually War of the Roses Day or to catch a cheater. We got ourselves an infidelity problem here, but it's not with another person.
Yes. I really need your help because my husband and I made a pact to start eating healthier this year.
Yeah.
Less junk, fewer carbs, no more late night snacking. But lately, I've been finding some suspicious evidence that makes me think he's been sneaking around.
All right, what's the suspicious evidence?
A little powdered sugar on the laptop keys.
That could be anything.
Yeah, he's been sneaking around with donuts. Yeah. It started small, an empty, crumbled up napkin in his car, a faint whiff of glazed betrayal in his breath. Then I found the real smoking gun, a receipt for a dozen donuts, time-stamped at 7 a.m. on a work day.
My man didn't even get the individual donuts.
Maybe he's buying them for somebody in the office and wasn't partaking, and he's just a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I confronted him, and he swore they were for the office, but somehow I just don't buy it.
I mean, technically, he is a part of the office, so could be for him, technically.
I think the smoking gun probably is more you say you're smelling the donuts on his breath. That to me is the smoking gun.
Yeah. I think maybe she's going through donut withdrawals herself. She's starting to smell things. She's starting to twitch a little bit.
And
no. This was his idea.
Mm-hmm. So
he was the one who said we needed to be more disciplined, get in shape, hold each other accountable. And I was totally on board. I've been so dedicated. So I'm not going through withdrawals because I've turned down office birthday cakes. I walked past the smell of fresh bread at restaurants and even resisted grabbing fries off my friend's plate.
Oh, that's sacrifice.
That is.
Those are the best fries.
You are a patriot. You are. Yeah, it could be frustrating, man, because you make this pact together. Now, you have not cheated at all since you guys made this agreement.
No, let me tell you, the biggest test was last week. Someone brought in my all-time weakness, cheesy garlic bread.
Yes.
I would have cheated.
And I stared at it, and it stared at me. But I held strong and walked away.
You definitely deserve the truth.
Right, but my husband, he has apparently been having a secret affair with donuts.
We don't know that. We don't know that yet.
Brittany, why does it matter so much to you that he does it with you? Is this something that he wants as much as you do?
This was his idea.
It was his idea. Yeah.
All right, so you wanted us to test him to see if he would be loyal if carbs were put in front of him. Tommy, what did we do?
So normally when we do War of the Roses, we we craft these emails that Kristen and Tracy usually put together. But this time, it was all me.
Yeah.
And I created a company. Normally it's a fake florist. This time it's Tommy's Doughy Delights.
Okay. To see if he would take a free box of delights.
Well, I'm the carb king of the Bert Show. I know about these things.
All right, Brittany, give us a couple of minutes here. When we come back, Tommy will tell you when your husband was offered the free carbs, did he take it or not, okay? No, we're not talking about physical cheating this morning. We are talking about like cheating on an agreement between a wife and a husband, right? They came together and it was his idea. It was dude's idea. That, hey, they're going to get a little healthier. In 2025, they're going to stay away from carbs. They know sugar is bad for you also, so they're going to back off on the sugar. So we got Brittany here on the phone that just called us, and she's just like, I have been so good about it. I turned down like cheesy bread.
Garlic
cheesy bread in the office. You know how hard that is?
She didn't steal fries off her friend's plate.
Yeah. She's shown dedication. But dude here, her husband, she thinks has been sneaking like donuts into the office. She says she smells it on his breath, sees the napkins rolled together and thrown in the trash can. So she thinks that he's been messing around on their agreement. We've seen this before on the show, like when a husband and wife make an agreement to not smoke cigarettes. And then all of a sudden she sees that there are some cigarette butts, or a cigarette carton in the ashtray or in the car. And it just makes you feel so disloyal. Like, we made this agreement together.
Yeah, it feels like a betrayal, especially if it was his idea. She cornering her into giving up all the donuts and the sweet treats. It's not fair.
All right, so Brittany wanted our help to see if this dude was really cheating on her with carbs or not. All right, Brittany, you ready for the results?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So it was quite a pause.
She's already disappointed.
She knows the results.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
First of all, Brittany, as the resident carb king, I need Dan's number after this because I need to give him some pointers on how to hide this stuff from you because I'm the king of this. I know when I cheat and things Renee, my wife, doesn't want me to eat, I'll put it in the trash, but like up under some trash so she doesn't see it.
You'll put it in the trash?
But under trash.
So she doesn't
like, she doesn't like me drinking Mountain Dew. I don't drink Mountain Dew at home. The only place I drink it is here.
Okay.
And I only have Coke Zero at home, which has no calories. And I'll hide that Mountain Dew bottle in the recycling bin, like up under some cardboard.
Maybe you should take your own pointers because now you're talking about it on the radio show, which I'm assuming she listens to.
I didn't think that through.
Yeah.
All right, so how did we tempt this guy?
All right, so we put together a fake email. Normally when we do War of the Roses, we pretend we're a florist and we send this offer for free flowers and see if they bite. In this case, Dan likes to bite donuts. So we came up with a donut shop, Tommy's Doughy Delights.
All I'm saying is if I'm getting an email that says Tommy's Doughy Delights on it, I am not clicking that. You're about to get some pop-ups.
We even created a customer rewards team, which this email is from. It says, "Hi, Dan. Congratulations. You've been selected for an exclusive VIP Tasty Treats membership." Whenever I hear sweet treat, I think of Abby every time.
You want to get some context to that?
She always talks about.
Because we could have an HR issue.
Whenever she talks about, I'd never heard the term sweet treat.
Sweet treat.
Until every time she says
it's kind of a Gen Z thing. Like, it's sweet treat o'clock. It's sweet treat time.
All right, back to this.
Now it makes some sense.
Yeah.
Offered VIP Tasty Treats membership. Tommy's Doughy Delights, a premium bakery service for our most valued customers. As a welcome gift, you get to choose a free box of gourmet pastries. No strings attached. Just let us know where to send them, and we'll have them delivered fresh right to you. Choose from these delicious options. Classic glazed donuts. Light, fluffy, perfectly sweet with our signature glaze. Flaky butter croissants. Buttery, golden, freshly baked to perfection. Chocolate-filled danishes. Rich, creamy chocolate wrapped in a soft, flaky pastry. Anybody's else's mouth watering?
Yes.
Something tells me you didn't need ChatGPT for this one.
He just attached his Uber Eats receipts to the email.
Cinnamon sugar twists. Warm cinnamon spice pastries with a sweet sugar dusting. To claim your free box, simply reply with your preferred delivery address, your pastry selection, and a special message for the lucky recipient if you'd like to give them to someone special. Act fast. This exclusive offer expires in 24 hours. Looking forward to treating you. Tommy's Doughy Delights customer rewards team. Dan immediately responded.
Okay.
I'm talking like 2 minutes after this email was sent.
A world record.
He ordered the classic glazed donuts to be delivered tomorrow to your home address, Brittany. And there were very specific instructions. He asked for the delivery to be made between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m., which I'm guessing you're not going to be home at that time, Brittany.
Yep. That's him going home to intercept the package because I will be at work.
So this dude is leaving work to get home at noon to get this package between noon and 1.
It's free donuts. I don't know if they've ever done this for baseball here, but I remember when I lived in Miami, when the Marlins would get 12 hits, you could take your ticket to Dunkin' Donuts and get a free dozen donuts. I would stand in that line for an hour and a half to get free donuts.
I'm assuming with Miami, it was only once a year that they got 12 hits.
This was back when they won the World Series.
Anywho, so he sets it for 12 to 1 o'clock when he knows she's not going to. He's leaving work, getting the donuts.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's on the hook.
Yeah,
and
but
he took the bait.
Little does he know, I'll be there.
Right.
He'll be getting a visit from me between 12 and 1 tomorrow instead.
Okay, now here is the problem. There's really not going to be donuts that are delivered between noon and 1. That's fictional. So when you show up at noon tomorrow, I wonder if he's just going to come clean or how he is going to act for that entire hour.
I would love to see his face.
Ring the doorbell.
Yeah, you should ring the doorbell with the donuts.
Yeah.
Don't get donuts. Show up with like a dozen rice cakes.
With little donut shapes in the middle. Like you take like a hole punch and just go.
That is a great idea. All right, these are supposed to be delivered tomorrow?
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Between 12 and 1.
All right, so we will talk to you on Thursday and find out how it went, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
So
Good luck. Go bust that. Go bust that man. As a parent of a teen, I think I have always erred on the side of giving my teens space on the weekends and allowing him to not hang out with me and go live his life. You know, especially his junior and senior year. I want him to have memories, you know, with his friends, with his schoolmates. So on the weekends that I have him, because I'm divorced and I have custody 50% of the time, a lot of times I'll go do your thing, man. He wants to go to a party. He wants to stay out, watch a basketball game, football game, even though that's on my time and it's so precious. I'm like, I don't want to be that drag parent, you know, that's like, no, we got to hang out. Until recently. Because now I feel like we're on the clock. Like he's graduating in just a couple of months, man. He's going to be 18 in May. That means he doesn't have to come to me at all. I mean, the custody agreement is over when he turns 18 years old. So I don't know when I'm ever going to see this kid again, right? So he's leaving for just for the night, day and night. He's going up to University of North Georgia to check out campus on Saturday. And I have him this weekend. And it's the first time that I can remember saying, that's cool. Go have a great time with who you think is going to be your roommate and some friends that you got up there. But that means I get you on Friday night. That means you got to be at home on Friday night. You, me, Amanda, we'll do something. And then I thought, you know, so then he'll probably go hang with his friends on Sunday, which is fine. But then I was like, no, this is probably going to be the last Super Bowl that we can hang together. I'm never going to see that kid on Super Bowl Sunday ever again.
That's probably a high probability.
Right? So I am making sure he's there on Friday and making sure he's there on Sunday because I don't have any plans for the Super Bowl this year.
And if you are someone who also is not so excited about the Super Bowl and need a reason to be excited about the Super Bowl, that is what I am attempting to do all week. So if I seem to feel like a lot of people may not be that interested because of what Bert said earlier with the Kansas City Chiefs. You're kind of just over it. This is there. They're going for history, going for a three-peat. So a lot of people need a reason to maybe root against the Chiefs. And if you're looking for one, I think you start with the Eagles star player, Saquon Barkley. If you know this guy's story, it's almost impossible not to root for him, and that's coming from a Cowboys fan who does not like the Eagles very much. But if you know the Michael Jordan story of where he got cut from high school, and then you look at what Michael Jordan turned out to be, it's a story of someone who you've always seen as great, and everyone knows as great, but you really don't know how much he had to fight to truly get to where he is in this point in time. So as much as you hear about Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, even Taylor Swift, I think this Super Bowl really focuses around Saquon Barkley. And you start with, it's his birthday, so the universe and fate should be on his side.
Wow. Super Bowl Sunday is his birthday.
Super Bowl Sunday is his actual birthday.
Okay.
He turns 28 years old. His teammate Cooper DeJean, it's also his birthday. So the Eagles have two players who have birthdays literally on the Super Bowl.
This guy, Cooper DeJean, right, I believe is like the first white defensive back in the NFL in like 20 years.
Since Jason Sehorn, I believe, was the last guy.
From the Giants, who Saquon used to play for.
Exactly.
Wow, that's bizarre.
It doesn't happen often. So you start there, right? You want to root for this guy simply because it's his birthday. But what a lot of people don't know is 14 years ago, Saquon Barkley actually almost quit football. Because in high school, he was never the guy. Like, everybody knows him as the star now, but he was always last on the totem pole when it came to running backs. So much so he felt like players were maturing quicker than him, and they were just better than him. So he really didn't want to play. And it took his high school coach to say, listen, you have a lot of potential. You're just developing a little later, but you should not quit on yourself. You shouldn't give up on yourself. And allegedly, that's the only reason that this man even continued to still play football, was because of that reason. So they said he was very kind. He was always a kind person. One of the stories they give as an example is when he was running, he was in a track meet, right? Which I thought this was really cool. And it's like a White House track meet that they had at Penn State University when he arrived there. And he actually lost. There was a mistake that they made with the time, and there was a woman who beat him, but they made them redo it. And then she came in second the second time. So he got the gold medal, but because he knew exactly what happened, he went and gave her his gold medal to say, you actually deserve this over me.
Cool, dude.
Wow.
So that's just to give you an example of the kind of guy he is. He initially went to Rutgers University because he was not recruited by any of the bigger universities at the time. He excelled there, and that's when Penn State got an eye on him. They came to him, gave him an offer. He went to Penn State. He started playing so well that's when the Ohio State started to come around. Notre Dame came around, but he was loyal. He was like, no, I already committed to Penn State. I'm going to stay here. And he didn't even want to tell his Rutgers coach that he wanted to leave because they say he just hates to disappoint people. But they told him he had to do it because it's a part of life that'll help you become a man. So he did it. He ended up going to Penn State. He committed to Penn State. He played so well at Penn State that he got an opportunity to go to the NFL. That's when the Giants drafted him. But then if you know that story, he ended up tearing his ACL. So he finds himself now in the locker room. Him and the coach are tearing up about him tearing his ACL, and he thinks his career's over because a lot of players don't recover from that, and especially an NFL running back. But the coach told him once again, hey, man, don't give up on yourself. Keep focused. And he did. And then the Giants foolishly did not want to pay him at the end of his contract because they didn't think he was good enough, even though he is Saquon Barkley, which is when the Eagles stepped in and said, well, if the Giants don't want you, we'll take you. And the Eagles and the Giants are division rivalries. So if you know football, it was pretty foolish to let Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles, but they did. So you see this guy now has lived an entire life up to this point of people telling him he's not good enough, he's not the guy, he's not the number one, and he just had one of, if not the best season that you've seen an NFL running back have in I don't know how long. But to give you an example, like his 50-yard plus runs, this man has already had 7 in 1 year. The closest to him is 3. So he is like way ahead of his competition. Most people believe that he's the reason that the Eagles are actually in the Super Bowl. So if you need someone to root for, I say you should start with Saquon Barkley.
That's a good call right there. This guy had the chance to break the single season rushing record this year. So in the history of the NFL, he would have the most rushing yards in a single season going into the last game. And because the Eagles had already qualified for the playoffs, he said, you know what? I'm going to pass on that. I don't want to get hurt. And we got the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl ahead of us. So forget about the record. I don't need that for me. I'm just going to sit this one out.
He's a complete team guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. And you know what I find so crazy about the NFL is I feel like the greats were never the good ones in like high school or college, like Tom Brady and even like Travis Kelce. I don't feel like they were star players until they got to their team. So I'll be looking out for Saquon Barkley.
Never give up on yourself.
All right, drama coming up in just a couple of seconds because the wife is not jealous. Not jealous. We'll get into that in just 1 second. I've got a favor to ask you guys listening because I know a lot of you guys have way more connections than I do. If you are like deeply rooted in the UGA football community, not for myself, for a very special family, am trying to get sideline passes to a UGA game next year. There's so much red tape involved and stuff like that. I'm wondering if one of you guys knows somebody that can make that happen. And again, this is not for me. This is not for any family member I have. I assure you I will reveal who it's for at a later time. I am just trying to get sideline passes to a UGA home football game sometime next year. And if you can help me with that, I would be eternally grateful. And you can reach out to me on Instagram, and it's at Bert Show Bert. All right, Mo, let's get to the email here. A wife that is not being jealous, and the husband is kind of upset about it.
At an event tonight that both my wife and I attended, I had two close female friends of mine reveal to me, in front of her, that they have a couple different nicknames for me. One of them is harmless, referring to how long-winded I can be, which is admittedly justified. But the other is extremely inappropriate. Apparently, they refer to me as BDJ, as in BDE, but substituting my name in for the last letter.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
That's odd.
Yeah. I got questions, but I'll wait.
Feels like an HR violation for sure.
I want to be very clear. Neither one of them has any knowledge of this intimate detail, but rather they are making certain assumptions based off of a funny parenting situation that I posted on Facebook 6 years ago. 6 years? They have been referring to me as BDJ for 6 years. They shared this information with my wife sitting right next to me, and my wife didn't bat an eye about it. My wife and I have been married almost 20 years, and she has never outwardly been a jealous person that I'm aware of, but she didn't seem to care in the slightest that two of my closest female friends have been talking about the size of my you-know-what with each other for 6 years. Maybe this is a reflection of our trust, that she knows nothing has ever happened with either one of them and never would. But no reaction at all? Should I be comforted by her trust? Should I be concerned about her complete ambivalence? I will admit that these are two friends that I can easily say that I have the most inappropriate and explicit conversations with, but still, as long as it doesn't bother me to know this, should I just let it go? Or should I be truly concerned that my wife could not care less that other women are referring to me this way?
Oh,
I must be missing something here. I wouldn't be offended by this at all unless they refer to me as SDJ. Then I'm offended. But this wouldn't bother me at all.
I don't think he's offended by the nickname. I think he's more hanging on the fact that he's offended that his wife doesn't have a more visceral reaction to two other people talking about his junk.
Bingo.
And I'm missing something. Is your wife not friends with them? Like, I would just assume that she knows about this nickname and has heard it bandied around forever. So she didn't bat an eye because she knows that's a nickname being used and it's cute.
I would feel away.
You would?
I absolutely would feel away. It reminds me kind of a situation when my girl has like a screensaver of me on her phone, and her phone rung once, and one of her friends made a comment about seeing the picture of me on her phone, and she was pissed, and her friend kind of got into it because she felt like, why are you commenting on my man's private parts? She took that as disrespect. And I feel like, as a guy in that situation, if one of your friends were to do that and you reacted to it like you didn't care at all, yeah, I get his point. I can see why you feel away.
I feel like a lot of this lies in the letter that they changed. So they call him BDJ, but BDE, the E stands for energy. And when you're talking about BDE, you're not necessarily saying, yeah, it's X, Y, and Z long. Like, you're saying that somebody has the kind of energy that means don't mess with me. It's very alpha. And women use that as a very endearing term to compliment a man. And so I understand why someone would take it in a more sensual context. I get the sense that this is just kind of a jovial way to say that you're kind of a badass.
I mean, but if you take the E out and you just make it BDM, there ain't no E in there. You just saying that he's that. Okay, so reverse the roles, right? If your friend, your guy friend, is making comments about your lady being well in whatever the case, and he's kind of playing about it, but he's saying this about your wife.
Yeah,
you wouldn't feel away.
I would,
and you would react.
Yeah,
and
I would put it into that.
You see what I'm saying? She's not putting it into it.
Yeah.
But what if the male friends are also very close friends of your wife? and they have that kind of joking, because that's the situation here. He's friends with the female friends who are making this joke, and his wife didn't bat an eye. So either she already knows about it or she's nonplussed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say your girlfriend Amanda and you have a very close, two close guy friends who are y'all,
okay,
and let's say he makes a joke about Amanda's, I don't know, chest size or whatever. Are you offended knowing that she has a close relationship? She's right there hearing it. Is it offensive?
Not if it's my super inner circle. Because Joel and Amanda and I are such good friends that wouldn't bother me, and I know it wouldn't bother her. So that he specifically wouldn't bother me. If it was,
I was going to say,
if it was like a B tier friend, yes.
And if Amanda wasn't there, it would feel weird. But because she's there and she's in on the joke,
right.
It would feel weird to me either way.
Yeah.
Comment on my wife's body would be a no-go for me.
But it's not a jealousy issue. It's an appropriate issue, right?
Either way, even if you mean it as a compliment, like there's a certain way to compliment my wife's body to me, regardless of your relationship with her.
I guess
damn, I'd hit that.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That might be a problem. It is Black History Month. And this is a really interesting challenge here. It can't be ignored, and you shouldn't ignore it. It is absolutely impossible to avoid Black inventions. We are going to prove that to you. Rebecca.
Happy Black History Month, everyone. I'm about to make your lives a little bit harder, just as I believe the Black community would want.
Before we even get into that.
Is that what we want?
Black-splaining, is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Before we even get into it, Morgan Freeman has been very hard in his belief that there should be no Black History Month.
Yeah, I mean...
He's like, this is American history, so why do we have to highlight... excuse me, Black history?
I see some of his point, and I see the part of it where he says the way to really end us talking about segregation is just to literally not talk about it anymore. Like, just don't bring up race, don't bring up the differences. It shouldn't exist. We're just all people. We're all humans. We're all fighting the same battles. I mean, that part
you feel
of it,
the same way?
That part of it, I understand. I do think that a piece of making it go away is to stop making it so I like to stop bringing it up all the time. But I don't think you should erase Black History Month, because Black history is its own version of history that has been incorporated into helping our country. And a lot of the times we don't talk about it enough. It's like if you take away BET, then we don't have a channel, because every other channel is not considered a Black channel. So we should still have our Black moments like separate from other moments. That part I don't agree with.
I always love the argument. There's not a white entertainment television, and the response is always, the rest of it is.
Every other channel. Every single one.
Yeah, so to honor the Black community, I am challenging each of you guys to go 24 hours without using an item that was invented by a Black inventor. And Black people have invented a lot. So
we're not allowed to use any of these, or we're just taking one that we can't?
I am assigning each of you one.
Okay.
So I was like, I can't get you guys to ignore traffic lights or like microphones.
I was wondering who he was going to give that one.
I was a little nervous about that.
You probably should give me the traffic lights.
Because you don't have a car. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found a few important inventions that won't make you be in direct danger. So Bert, your invention. For the next 24 hours, you are not allowed to use elevators.
Okay. All right. Okay. Had no idea that was invented by a Black person.
In 1887, Black inventor Alexander Miles invented the automatic elevator door that all elevators today come equipped with. So if you happen to find one that you have to crank open, you can use that.
Okay.
But that's
All right.
it.
Okay, I can do that. All right. I don't have any appointments in tall buildings today, so it's just going down from here.
Cassie, for the next 24 hours, you are not allowed to turn on your home security system.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. That's too much. That's too much. Though that was invented by Marie Van Britten Brown in 1966. You are not allowed to use a hairbrush.
No problem. Look at my hair right now.
You mean she hasn't used a hairbrush?
Actually, it is. Obviously, hairbrushes are very important, even for curly hair people like me. You got to brush it out. So, I mean, it's a health thing. They'll report you to child services if you don't brush your kid's hair.
It's true.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it's so, my response was so offensive. Like, a Black person invented the elevator? No!
Your shock was a bit much.
The whole list is a little bit offensive.
Yes, the hairbrush was patented by Lyda D. Newman in 1898. All right, Mo, I have something very special for you. Your invention is the potato chip.
Okay.
And I'm not going to make you go without. I've actually brought this bag to you for Black History Month. Happy Black History Month, King.
Oh, that's my present. Thank you.
I'm not going to make you go without.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
finally.
Yeah.
The Bert Show.
Can't hit us up on Facebook. Go, I don't get a present for being white. Yeah, we do. every day.
Every day. Every single day.
This is for you. I hope you like hickory barbecue.
I do actually. Thank you.
It was invented by, actually, I don't have that listed. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Can we get some respect?
I know. Bad white person.
Chancellor.
I've already failed as an ally. Okay, finally, Abby. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but it was Lewis Latimer who invented the light bulb filament. So you and your two cats will be spending the next 24 hours in complete darkness. You're not allowed to turn on your lights at home.
That's crazy. Turn off. I'm turning off my mic now because there's lights in my mic.
Listen, stock up on candles, okay?
Technically, the modern microphone was invented by a black man too, so we all should get a day off.
Yeah, I thought about giving that to you guys, but I was like, you need those to make money and give me money, so not that one.
Interesting list. I didn't really know. I had no idea.
Yeah, and thank you, Katie. George Crumb invented the potato chip.
Okay.
Very
Thank
fitting.
you. All right, Amber, so you're not feeling real good about yourself. What's up, girl? What do we do? What can we do?
I'm feeling okay about myself. Happy Black History Month, Mo. Katie, how y'all doing?
Back, thank you. Back.
Oh, hey, Bert, didn't see you there. So I feel okay about myself. My problem is the way that I am portrayed in photographs. I am really good at video. I'm good at all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to, I guess, capturing my quote unquote sexy side in a photo, I can't do it. I'm really bad with poses.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I overthink it. So I don't like any photo I take. I hate it.
So but you are aware that you do have a sexy side.
I'm going to be real. I'm an actor and all that stuff, but I can't be sexy on purpose. It's the only thing I have a hard time doing. If the sexy comes out, that's an accident and I'm not aware of it.
Can't hide sexy all the
You know
time.
what I mean?
I think you're a little hard on yourself in this area, because when you sent me the pictures that you took to take photos of the In the Moment hoodies, I thought they were great. Like
I
they
took
were so
87 photos and it took me a while to find those.
Oh, you took 87 to get
I took
to 4?
so many.
All right, that's not a Hall of Fame number. I see.
That's not atypical, though. So I am a photographer. It's not my full-time gig, obviously. But I think any photographer will tell you they take so many photos of a subject, and the ones that you see published, it might be 1 out of 50 or 2. I mean, as you get better, like you'll be able to pare that down a lot more. But it's not weird to take a ton of photos and not like all of them.
That's true. I mean, and one of the things that, go ahead, Abs.
Oh, I was just going to say my favorite trend on TikTok is seeing hot girls on the internet complain about not getting good photos. Because I follow a couple of like those New York City influencers where they're like, oh, how I feel when I go on vacation and I don't get the photo. Because that's the thing that every girl wants on a vacation or a girl's trip. You got to get the photo to post on Instagram. So I think that this is a common thing that everyone goes through where, you think you look a certain way, but the camera's not capturing it. And I think that frustration is really common. And I don't think it means anything about your appearance.
I've said this before. I can barely even watch Bert Show videos because it's got the angle of it. I'm always been insecure about my big ass beak and the way that the cameras are positioned in the studio. It's just a full profile shot. So I have literally, when I'm watching Bert Show videos, have made voices like, and Amanda's had to stop me. I can't look at them.
I know what you mean, and here's another part of this is I'm a lesbian. Kind of, a lot of people see me as the masculine one, I guess, and because of that, when I'm trying to take photos, I'm trying my best not to look super feminine, which is making me overthink about what to do with my hands, my body. Like I have large. What do you say?
A chest?
Breasts?
Yes, I wasn't sure.
You call these things.
I mean, we can call them anything you want.
It's your world.
Cha-chas. And so I'm trying to find a quote unquote sexy way of taking these photos because I want like those sexy studs on Facebook and Instagram. I want to look like, damn, I want to look just tasty.
I just want to clarify something. When you say you're trying not to look overly feminine, do you want to look feminine? Like, how do you want to present yourself to the world?
I guess it kind of depends on what the particular project is, because I have no problem with my femininity. It's not the only part of me. There is a masculine part of me that I enjoy kind of displaying more so than the feminine side. If I am feeling feminine, there is something sexy going on up here in my head.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're on TikTok, right? You're going to go on there, and in the search, and I think Abby's going to agree with me, you are going to search Book Talk Boyfriend Challenge.
Okay.
And what it is, it's girls who read like these fantasy books or romance books that Abby and I read, having their boyfriends act out not the dirty scenes, but the stuff like cupping a chin or the leaning against a door frame a certain way. And you watch that, and then you mimic what they're doing for a photo. Then if you're taking the photo, you set it up somewhere, you record it, okay? So you're going to have film. Don't worry about taking photos. You're going to do that move, and then you're going to go back through the footage of the film and screenshot what you like.
That should work. I actually do that for my YouTube thumbnails.
There you go.
I like
There you
that.
go. So there's a way.
Yeah, I'm about to bring the sexy back. That's what I'm gonna do.
But honestly, Amber, the more you start doing that and you step into that role, you're playing a character right now, okay? You're going to have to do that, but the longer you do that, then it starts to become second nature and it becomes part of you. So it's going to feel weird as hell to begin with. You're going to feel uncomfortable. This isn't me. I'm not sexy. This is not my skin. The more you do it, the more you're going to be like, yeah, it is me. How come all these loser dudes can do it and they've got beautiful girlfriends and I can't do it? They're not loser dudes, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that is open to you too, and you're allowed to step into that role. You're holding yourself back.
I am in my head. Stop overthinking.
There you go.
The Bert Show.